Learning every AI feature is pointless when half of them will change next month. So I'm not doing a fear tour. I'm showing you the principles that still work a year from now. I've taught AI to over 700,000 people, and this is the stuff that changed their day-to-day. So let's get into it.
So we've all seen kind of this prompting window where, again, it's what we're gonna ask Gemini to do. But what's most important is to know the options that you have down here on your toolbar for prompting. First, you're gonna have the option to choose your model, which is either fast or Thinking with 3 Pro. If you're on the free version, you're not gonna see Thinking with 3 Pro, but if you're paying for it, or at least use the one free month, I would highly recommend checking that out. You are gonna get a lot better results with the Thinking model. So if you A, have the time, and B, it's not something that you just need a quick answer for, but you need it to be really accurate as possible, and you want the very, very best, then use the Thinking model. I'm on the Thinking model, I would say 90% of the time, because I want the best answer, and I'm okay with being a little bit more patient for it. Next, you're gonna look at these tools section. And so essentially, each of these options here are different. Think of them as modes that your model is gonna be put into. You have where you can create videos with it, you can create images with it, you can collaborate with it, so that's what Canvas is. It will create a document for you. Or the two, deep research and guided learning, are more like your academic models. Deep research you can think of as your academic assistant who's going to go out and search the web and then provide this report for you. Whereas guided learning is not going to give you the answer, but more importantly is going to tell you how to learn about it and walk you through it with examples. The great news about this is most of the time the model will just infer which one of these you want to use. For example, if I say something like create an image of a hot dog driving a plane, what you'll see here is it already loaded Nano Banana Pro, which is its image creation. So I didn't have to click load Nano Banana, I just said create an image, and that prompted it to create an image. Now, if you're not explicit as I am with this type of thing, you may need to select the tool selection. But again, if you're saying something really explicit like create an image, it will pre-select it for you.
If this is clicking for you, I share more stuff like this in my weekly newsletter. Short, practical tips you can use the same day. Links in the description.
So what is your G Suite? Let me just go to my Gmail. This is really the best example of it, because if you go to the top of your Gmail, there's this little icon called Google Apps, and it shows you all the different Google apps. You have Gmail, Drive, Calendar, Maps, right? News. But at the core of it is really around email, your storage for your documents, and your calendar. This can either be used for work, for school, for personal. A lot of people will have work accounts, personal accounts for this. But where Gemini is so powerful is it connects to all these different applications in what we call your Google Workspace. To be able to use the Workspace integration, you are going to need the Pro account, and so this is $20 a month. But the good news is that once you purchase the Pro account, you can just do something super simple, which is just ask for a prompt in Gemini, and if it isn't connected to your Workspace, it will automatically connect for you. I've already done this, and so it's not gonna do it again, and I don't know how to unconnect my account. But essentially what I did is I created a prompt that was hey, can you look at my calendar this week and see what meetings I have? That was how simple the prompt was. What was great was I hadn't connected Workspace yet. And so because that prompt is connecting to one of the Google apps, right? Google Calendar, or I could probably even put in look at my email and tell me what's important messages I may have missed, right? That would be another app that it'd be connecting to. It'd be connecting to Gmail. Because of that, once I asked it to do this, now I'm already connected to Workspace, so you're not gonna see this. But when I asked it to do this, it said, hey, Sadie, you're not connected to Workspace, but I can see you want to be. Would you like to connect now? And I just had to reply to it and said yes. What's cool about this, I could even go into my Google Drive where all my documents are and ask Gemini right there, catch me up, summarize a folder, learn about Gemini and Drive. I mean, what's great about it is you can ask AI to teach you about AI. I know, it's super meta. but it really does a fantastic job. And so again, it says here it can summarize folders, you can ask questions, search files, summarize and ask questions. What is amazing about this is, especially if you use this for work, you can just talk to your whole knowledge base as a regular person and ask questions from there. Let's just talk about, let's have it summarize a drive for me, summarize a folder in a drive. This is a proposal that I wanted it to summarize for me. I recently got a really lengthy proposal regarding like a podcast studio and video production equipment. So this proposal is quite long. We're looking at 7 pages here. What it did here instead though, was it talks about here's the core equipment you're gonna need, necessary but not included items, rolling recording total, and like breaks down the cost and everything. Then I can even follow up and ask it questions. How much is this full proposal going to cost? Okay, I know it said it down here, core equipment, complete setup range. But again, I asked the same question because I didn't read the first time. So it breaks down and I can ask it questions from the document. This is one of my favorite features with Gemini because it expands so much more what you can do beyond just like using the typical prompting, which is still fantastic, don't get me wrong. But most importantly, it's like grounded in your context. You can use it to help write emails. For example, let's go back to my Gmail. So this is like terrible email, right? Hey Betty, I don't capitalize anything. I'm just like kind of off the cuff, but we can go down to this little pencil pizzazz here and it's connected with Gemini. And all I say is I have a couple options. You can polish, you can formalize, elaborate, or shorten. So let's just go with polish. I don't want it to be super formal. And here, just like it makes it look like a real human wrote this instead of a crazy person, which is how most of my emails look like. Could you please provide an update to the design doc? It's important that I receive it by the end of the week. Can you confirm when if like this is so nice. And it just like cleaned it up. And what's awesome is I can just go in here and hit replace, which is fantastic. So again, really connecting Gmail to your workspace is going to be the biggest game changer. So a lot of times what I'm doing is creating documents or proposals or things that I'm going to send out to my team and they're going to edit on from what I created. And so I love Canvas because it's just one less step of copy and pasting that I have to do and back and forth. So here's a quick example. Again, I'm using the thinking model because I got time. But second, I'm using Canvas because it's going to create a document that we can collaborate on. So I'm just going to say create a 2026 AI strategy template for me that my team can use for our clients. This is not my finest prompt, but I'm just trying to show this as a demo. So you get the point. So what is awesome about this is not only do I have this here, which it's my template, executive summary, top level goals, North Star, high impact use cases, but I can go through this and actually start editing it. So maybe I know my client's name. So I can go in here and add the client name, XYZ Toys. I can also add the date, today, prepared by, we'll say it was prepared by me, Sadie. And so this makes it so very collaborative. But then I can also at the same time, if I don't want to just edit the document by itself, what I can also do then is go to the right hand side and there's these little additional like menu items where I can change the length, I can change the tone, or I can even get some like suggested edits for it as well. So it gave me some suggested edits, but again, just like a regular document, Control Z, you can undo and go to the previous version if you want to, which I think makes it so helpful. But the number one reason why I love this is because of this little tiny share button. What I can do is export it to a document. So as stupid and silly as this sounds, exporting it to a document, it means I don't have to copy paste. And that sounds dumb, but like just it's one less friction point, which is so helpful. And then the second thing is this is formatted. If you look at this, up in Google Docs, it changes. This is heading 1, this is heading 2, right? This is a table. It's already formatted for what is applicable for Google Documents. And so this just makes it so simple because now I can go and just share this with my team and we are off running to the races. So, couple things to remember when getting started with Gemini. Make sure you have the setup that you need, connect it to Workspace, understand your workflow, know that again, you can connect it to so many different apps, and most importantly, make sure you have that Workspace advantage. And my favorite part, Gmail, G Drive, all of the calendar, all the things that you're going to be able to do. It's going to be incredible, and I can't wait to see what you create.
Newsletters in the description if you want more. And if you want my full breakdown of every feature, watch my complete Gemini tutorial. I'll link it here. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.